Teams out on the ice now for the final race of this 2009 ISU Short Track Speed Skating World Championships from Vienna. Teams competing in this relay: the United States, China, Japan, Germany, and Italy. 5 teams in this relay for men as opposed to only 4 for women. Does that change the dynamic in any way?
Well, it absolutely changes the dynamic. It makes it much more crowded for one. Now you've got 20 skaters out there instead of 16. But the more important is what happens during the race. Do the teams all stay together, or do they get a little bit spread out? Now you're noticing there's no Canada and there's no Korea. Those teams did not make it. Korea, with about 15 laps to go in the semifinal, fell and didn't make the final. And Canada was disqualified in the semifinal, so they're not in the final. So really, the United States, the clear favorite in this event to win this World Championship relay here.
Just a little bit about this venue being used here in Vienna. It was not the original venue that had been specified by the ISU for these championships, but the hockey team that controls the arena went farther into the playoffs than anybody anticipated. So all of a sudden the organizers in Vienna had to move this championship to what is on regular situation a velodrome, and this ice rink is completely temporary and movable. So kind of a quick move by the Viennese organizers. Probably not a very easy thing to do at all. And you can see the attendance not nearly what they would have expected because of the change in venue. So underway, 5,000 meters, the United States, China, Japan, Germany, and Italy, and the dance begins.
5,000 meters, 45 laps. Good skating by the United States to try to stay in front of this race throughout. They're strong enough and they're deep enough to do so. With 5 teams, a lot of things can happen, especially in the back of that pack. So staying towards the front is going to be a better tactic in this situation.
Does the team with the best skaters always win a relay?
It does not, and a perfect example of that is long track, the new pursuit. In 2006 at the Torino Olympics, the Italian team won the gold medal. They have one great skater in Enrico Fabrice, the gold medalist, but the other 2 skaters, nobody really knows about it. So it's not the best 4 skaters, it's the best 4 skaters that make up the best team. But in the case of the United States, with J.R. Celski, Apolo, Anton, Ohno, they've got the 2 best skaters in the world leading them out. Now, Jeff Simon, who we saw skate individual earlier today, throughout this competition is not competing in this relay. Again, the broken hand forces him out. He's been replaced by Ryan Bedford, a very strong skater who also has competed in the international level in World Cup in long track this season, and then rounded out by Jordan Malone. Now, 2 years ago at the World Championships in Italy, Jordan Malone won 2 individual medals as well. So that just shows you how deep this U.S. team is. Absolutely the clearly favorite in this event right now here today.
So China currently in the lead. Their skaters Han Jilong, Li Kuanghui, Song Weilong, and Sui Bao Ku.
Now both Ryan Bedford and Jordan Malone did not skate the individual events here this weekend. So a very difficult task of sitting around all weekend, trying to get some workouts in and train and stay fresh. Then they got to pop out in the ice and skate a 5,000 meter final. Very, very difficult to do.
Why didn't they skate the individuals?
Well, you only have 3 skaters from the United States who can skate the individual. That's the max any country can have. We had J.R. Celski, Apolo, Ohno, Jeff Simon. Shows you how deep that team is. So no room for them. They did not qualify at the U.S. Championships to skate the individual, but a very, very important part of the team and a very, very important part of this relay. Now next week, the World Team Championships, they'll be skating, and they'll be skating a lot.
Just take a moment and enjoy the dance, the precision, and the teamwork of short track speed skating relay. 5,000 meters, still a long, long way to go. China in the lead, followed by the United States, Italy, Germany, and then Japan.
There's the impressive J.R. Celski. Pay attention to the skaters on the outside of the track and on the inside of the track. Right there, a nicely done, executed exchange by the entire pack. You see the teams in front will go a little bit wider to allow room for the teams behind them at this stage of the race to have a chance to make a nice exchange. Now, as you get closer to the end of the race, that's not going to happen. Teams aren't going to be so nice.
Well, and the skaters on the inside of the track that are getting ready to come out onto the official surface, there's got to be some tremendous coordination with them as well. Not only with respect to their teammate, but with respect to their competitors. They got to get in the right order time and time again.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that happens is the teams will allow the skaters to get in the right order so that there is some flow and there is some feel to it. And there, see Ryan Bedford out in front. Ryan Bedford out in front, pushing off to Jordan Malone. I'm sorry, to J.R. Celski. Good exchange right there. Ryan Bedford, a taller skater, one of the taller short track skaters in the world. J.R. Celski, a lighter guy, probably getting a nice big push from Bedford. And then the great Apolo Anton will finish it off for the United States.
That's just a great look of everything that's going on. Again, unlike the women's 3,000-meter relay, with 4 countries represented, 5 countries on the ice here in the men's 5,000.
Jordan Malone from the United States trying to get a little separation from the rest of the countries. This is planned. This is strategy. This is not happening by accident. And it's a smart move to do. So many things can happen in a relay. There's 20 skaters out there. Accidents are common. Falls happen. The more you get away from the pack, the better. And the United States picking up the pace right here. Now that Celski's out in front, expect him to keep the hammer down and try to move away. Now that's Han from China, their 500-meter specialist. You see the United States effortlessly trying to create a little bit of separation. Japan and Germany have fallen off the back a little bit. Germany absolutely way off the back. They are out of this race. Japan doing a nice job of coming back. China moving in the front.
You surprised at this stage of the race, given what you know to be the Americans' game plan, that they find China ahead of them?
Well, I think the Americans, the one mistake they've made right here is to not get a little more distance. They still are sitting in great position to win this race, but there you see a slip by Ryan Bedford. All it takes is one bad slip or one bad fall, and you're out. And here, bad exchange by Ryan Bedford, and they move into 3rd place. But here comes Celski into 2nd. The Americans, in my opinion, should have pulled away further ahead than they did. So it's going to come down to a close race between these 3 countries. The team from the U.S. is better than this. They could have played a little bit smarter. We'll see how they end up. I still expect them to win, though.
China leading, followed by the United States, then Japan.
But anytime you have Apolo Anton in the field, who's your last skater, he's probably the best closer in the history of the relay in the men. He can close. It's amazing what he's able to do. And here comes the United States moving into 1st place.
Another good exchange, and the United States now takes over the lead from China. And as you mentioned, looking to put the hammer down. Japan now into 2nd, followed by China in 3rd.
Nice exchange right there by the American team. Now they've got the separation we thought about. Ryan Bedford making up for the exchange before. Here comes Celski, going to push into Apolo. There's 2 laps to go. No chance that they catch Apolo at this juncture in the event. I can assure you that Apolo does not lose when he's in this position. And they know that
Anton bringing it to the finish line for the United States. China comes in 2nd. Japan, with a strong 5,000 meters, finishes 3rd.
That was not a difficult victory from the United States. I still think they should have pulled ahead a little bit sooner and created a little more separation, just to make sure you had a mistake or anything like that doesn't create a bad situation. For example, Korea was way out in front of the semi, 15 laps to go. They fall. They don't make it. Don't want to have that problem here. But once you get to Ohno with the last 2 laps of the relay, nobody in the world is better, and nobody in the world is going to beat them. The American team showing just how deep they are, don't have one of their best skaters in it, and still easily win this relay at the World Championships.
Boy, that was just a fascinating display of athleticism, choreography, and teamwork, as well as just sheer raw speed.
Well, I've talked to Apolo about these races. He loves the last day of competition. He told that to me as we were heading into this event this day, and he showed why. But Apolo Anton, one of the best relay skaters to ever put on a pair of skates, so dominant those last 2 laps. The American team showing their depth of how good they are. Clearly, in my opinion, the favorite to win the relay at the upcoming Olympic Winter Games in Vancouver.